Hey beautiful people, this is your boy Kagiso M, and today I'm going to talk about proxies. Why proxies are your best friends. First, what are proxies? Why are they your best friends? Few file formats why you might need to do proxies. Also, I'm going to show on DaVinci Resolve how to create proxies. But if you landed on this video just wanting to know how to create proxies on DaVinci Resolve, then the link here that is popping up now or on the description below, you will be able to get a link that will go directly into how to create proxies on Premiere Pro. How do I prefer to do them, and also some options that I usually use. So let's start. For people who don't know what proxies are, in layman's terms, proxies are the exact duplicate of your files, but with either low data rate or with a format that is actually not as compressed as your original high resolution media. So that is in loose terms. So they are usually less data rate, meaning also that they might even be smaller in terms of file size, and also they might be at the file format that is actually easier on your PC. So why do you need proxies? For exact same things that I said. Normally when you have like either a high resolution, depending on your PC, whether you have a high resolution or maybe you are doing multicam with high data rates, you might find that your timeline is lagging, so it's moving in, it's not smooth. Then that's one reason you might need proxies. Also on a professional set, proxies are very important, simply because you have to distribute the files to different people. And imagine having like an 8K file or resolution from let's say your Arri or your Red cameras, or even some of the consumer cameras. The 8K can be actually quite high. So on professional sets, you find that they need to give let's say some files to the people who are going to edit, a couple of them. Also the person who does the score, who will be doing like your background music and all those things. This person doesn't really need a high resolution video, but people like who's going to do grading might need a high resolution video. So proxies will be helping in terms of that. Another thing, if you are shooting multicam, like 4, 3, 4, 5 cameras, sometimes even 2 cameras, depending on the resolution and the capability of your camera. So proxies will be your friend. That's when you will need proxies. Even one file, you might need proxies. I prefer to do proxies when I do like multicams, for few reasons. Even though you have a capable PC, which is one of the misconceptions that I'm just addressing, that having a high-spec PC doesn't mean you don't need proxies. And here is the reason. So with the file format you'll be using, if you start editing, you might find that your PC is capable of like going through that file with ease without issues. But as you edit, you put things, even simple things like transition, maybe you short log and then you go into do grading. You find that all those things, bit by bit, you put denoiser, bit by bit, they actually adding up, and at the end you might find that your PC is now starting to lag. So if you use proxies, then right from the beginning you actually have an advantage, especially when you have a high-spec PC. And another thing is that your normal or your high-resolution files, you find that they are big, and now you're going to need an expensive SSD to put them in there and edit from there. This is just a tip in case you didn't know. Editing from the SSD, especially on software like Premiere, software like DaVinci, is actually beneficial, because you might have a high-spec PC, you might have a very good GPU, but if you will be editing, especially a couple of cameras from your normal spinning hard disk, your hard disk is going to be a bottleneck. So this is where the proxies help, because your high definition media is actually huge. Then you can store those ones onto the spinning hard disk, but then you create proxies that are smaller and they can fit in SSDs, because SSDs are expensive. So you can just have a 1 tera, 2 tera and be able to just those proxies and edit from the proxies. So all in all, proxies are your best friends because they're going to make your editing quite easy. So now let's go into DaVinci Resolve. Let's jump in there. Let me show you how to create proxies, which options do I prefer, and also the method that I prefer, because there are two methods as far as I know. So let's jump into DaVinci Resolve. Okay, now that we have jumped onto DaVinci Resolve, so let me just show you something before we create proxies. So here I've just pulled two files that is from the other project that I was doing, and one file is from the C, not the C, but from the R5, and the other one is from the C200. So both these files were shot at about 170-160 megabits per second, which is quite a lot. The one that I was shooting today, earlier on studio, this is about 60 megabytes, so this is quite small. So if we go and actually scrub through this, you can see it moves easily because that is about 60 megabits per second. If I go onto this one and start scrubbing, you can see it is actually jumping around. It's even giving some funny artifacts there. And even if I go on this one, it just jumps around, but this is quite smooth. So that means if I have those on my timeline, if I go and open this timeline, here they are 1, 2, and the third one is the one in studio. So they are here on the multicam, as all in there. So if I'm to play this, you'll see this is moving smoothly because it is actually not running all the cameras. If I pause there, click that and say multicam, I will be able to see all the cameras moving. Look how lagging they are, simply because all these things were shot at H.64 and H.65, and they are actually taxing on the PC. So you can see the PC is doing its best, but now and then it just stops a little bit. And if we go look on the resources, the CPU is at 34%, memory 13, and the GPU is actually at around 70. This is not really bad, honestly, but the other thing is, if you look at the disk, and all these, not all of them, two of them are actually on a normal spinning hard disks, and you can see the hard disk can easily become a bottleneck here. So let's go stop this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to create proxies. So there are two ways, especially if you are using 18.6. I think that's where it started, if not 18.5, DaVinci Resolve. So it comes with this Blackmagic proxy generator. So this is a standalone piece of software. If you are actually opening this for the first time, it won't come to this page. It will actually open your folders saying which folder must be a watch folder. So a watch folder is whatever you put in there, it is going to put it here so that you can be able to start your processing. So you have your H.64 with 8-bit and 420 half res. Then you have the 8-bit 420 1080p, and then the H.265. So the difference between the H.265 and the H.264 is that the H.265 compresses even more, probably with the same quality as that, so you get a smaller file with the same quality as H.264. So I don't like using this, but before I actually go there, if you need to add a video, or add a video to compress it, so first you can just choose whichever one you want to use. Then you go into add, and wherever you have saved your media, you can click that folder. After that, it's going to show here. So there is no any other options to do. What it's going to do is it's going to save that file that you want to make a proxy of in the same file as the original. So when you go and open where the original is, you'll get the folder with the proxies in there. So I'm going to cancel this because I don't like this method. Maybe in future it will be a lot better. And also, if you are using a Mac, it also has a ProRes option at the top. So I'm going to just cancel this. Here's a method that I prefer. So you can come here, right click and say generate proxies. But before you do that, here's an important thing. You need to actually choose what type of media you want and where to save it. So to do that, you're going to go into File, Project Settings. If you are not on Master Settings, come to Master Settings and then go all the way down, and you're going to have Optimized Media and Render Cache, and you're also going to have working folders. So the first thing is Proxy Media Resolution. I normally choose half. So if you are shooting 4K, that means your proxy will be 1080p. So I choose half. Then Proxy Media Format. I don't like choosing the H.264 and the H.265. I actually go onto the DN and I normally choose this one. Reason being, for quality and size, I have found that this works best for me. If I go to HQ, it starts to create huge files. They are better quality, but remember I have my originals that I'm going to render from, so I don't actually need this, unless if maybe I wanted to send it to someone with a better quality, maybe, but I choose that. And depending on your PC, you might even have to choose the last one. So it's going to be even a less file with less resolution. So for me, this works best. I can see clearly what I am doing and the file size is not bad. So I choose that. So this is optimized media. So you don't have to do anything here. So you can choose either to make proxies or use optimized media. That's from DaVinci Resolve. The difference is that your proxy media will be an actual file that you can play, look at it, see if you are happy with it, or even send it to someone. It will play as a normal video file. And in terms of optimized media, this is a file that is recognized by DaVinci Resolve. So I cannot take that file, play it on a media player, or give it to someone who's not using DaVinci Resolve to actually use it. So it is used by DaVinci Resolve. It is a physical file, but it's not really a video file that you can play. So you can choose either that or the proxy, but I prefer to use the proxy because I prefer to go and view my videos. So if you prefer to use proxies, that's all you're going to do on here. The next thing is to come to proxy generation location. So here, choose a location that will be on an SSD. So make sure this drive is an SSD because you want it to play as smooth as possible. You don't want the spinning hard disk to be your bottleneck. So you can just browse and go and choose wherever you want to choose, and it is going to create a folder in there called proxy media. Then once you are done there, this is something that I normally do because I don't use the default. So I go and use the location for my cache clips, and also for my gallery stills. And I also like to choose a SSD. Something has changed on here. I think this was supposed to be on, and oh, I was making a sample, so this is fine. I will see that. So once you have done all those, you can say save. Then now when you go and say right click and then generate proxy media, this is what's going to happen. And you can actually check on your, it should be using your GPU. CPU 32 normally goes around 24, but anyway, it might go down as you see there. But then you can see this is the where I'm saving it, and this is where it is reading. This is the spinning disk, 45%. This is SSD 20%. And if I go down there, I can see it is using a lot of my GP, which is actually quite correct. If it's not using your GPU, then you should be checking what is the reason. There is actually a setting that I will just show you just now. So once this is done, I'm actually going to cancel because I've already created a proxy. So I'm going to show you how to link the proxy once, let's say, you lost it. But normally after this process finishes, it will automatically attach the proxy. You don't have to do that. So I'm going to do that, cancel this, because it does take a while, especially with the format that is with the data rate I was using, and also the length of the video. So I'm going to right click here and say relink proxy media. This you only do it if maybe you lost, it has lost the link, or maybe you've created the proxy somewhere, now you want to relink them. So relink proxy media. Then my proxies for this clip, I normally put my proxies on my 2 SSDs, so could be on here. See, yep, and that is the R5 main. So because it is one file, it wants me to actually pick the exact file. But if it was more than one file, I would actually pick the folder and it will reattach all those files. So this is 159. Oh, that is not the R5, that is the R5 is the top one. So that is the C200, and 159 will be this one. Then open. So you will see that little icon that came here. It shows that I have actually put my attached my proxy, and you probably have seen, if I go through this, it goes way smooth if I scrub. And if I go and say playback, proxy handling, disable proxies, that icon is gone, and if I go scrap, you can see it is not moving smooth. There's artifacts, there's a whole lot of funny things. So I can go back and say playback, proxy, prefer proxy. Then if I go there, it's quite smooth. So this is how you generate proxies. This is how you can reattach proxies. Also, they are going to help your timeline. Let me also show you. I'm going to attach this relink. This is the R5, and that is 83. So it has attached. So if I go on here now and play, it should play smooth than previously when it was actually lagging. And can I try and do 2 times? I'm playing it 2 times. Oh, wait, I need to activate that and play. So it stabilizes, it should stabilize at 25 because I'm on 25 frames even on this side, and you can see it's playing smooth. All these 3 videos are also playing. So this is how proxies help your workflow. And as you go, you'll be adding other things. They'll be texting on your PC, but with proxies it might be smoother. So if you like this video, please thumbs up and also consider subscribing to my channel. Your boy Kahiso M, I'm out of here.